So this is probably my third or fourth time trying to record this video because every single time I've gotten really upset to the point where I had to stop recording the video and gather my thoughts because I want to make sure that I still present my argument and my case in a proper and professional manner. I was not proper, I was not professional because Robinson Cano might have just stolen the title, just like Ryan Braun stole the MVP from Matt Kemp. I think that Robinson Cano just stole the title of the biggest a-hole and the biggest jerk in all of baseball because as I'm recording this video, I am looking at my screen, I'm on Twitter, and Jeff Passan dropped a nuke on all of us. Of course, it was after my first video went live, so if you have not watched my first video from today, we talked about Cody Bellinger's injury, Mike Clevenger had Tommy John. It was a great update video, so after this one is over, I would recommend you guys go watch that because it's pretty good. And I wasn't planning on making a second video at all today. I wanted to enjoy myself, but of course, the biggest dummy that I can think of, Robinson Cano, had to go out and take steroids for a second time in his career and get busted, and he's gone for all of 2021. And if you're a Mets fan, you would know that he was terrific last season. He was awful in 2019. He had like a 749, a really low OPS, and all of a sudden he's back to being Yankees Robinson Cano, an absolute force of nature, 10 home runs, an 880 something OPS, a 144 OPS plus. He was a man on a mission. He was trying to show that Nelson Cruz wasn't the only dinosaur in baseball that could hit baseballs very far and at a very efficient pace. So he is gone for the entirety of the next season, and this leaves a huge hole at the second base position for the New York Mets. DJ LeMahieu is licking his chops today because if the Yankees are not able to re-sign him, he's going to sprint to the Mets where they play Citi Field, and he is going to get $30 million because now that there is a huge hole to fill and he is the prime candidate to fill that position, his price just went up. But anyways, that's the DJ LeMahieu saga in a nutshell. I think that this makes, LeMahieu or Lindor are 100% ending up in New York because of this stupid decision from Robinson Cano. He spit in all of our faces. And back in 2018, when he was busted the first time, he came out with a pretty profound statement. He addressed the rumors and that they weren't rumors, that he was going to get suspended for 80 games. The synopsis was he didn't know what he was doing. It was really a recommended product by a doctor because he was coming back from an injury, and within that medicine, there was PED. So he got popped. He was suspended for 80 games. He came back in 2019 and was not the same Robinson Cano. He was injured throughout the season, and when he was healthy, he wasn't the same Cano, but I think he did have a 3 home run game, so he was showing flashes that he could still be a starting second baseman and one of the better second basemen in the league. But then 2020 happened and his numbers exploded again. Out of nowhere, we all expect Cano to be great, but at his age, we were not expecting an almost 900 OPS after he fell off a cliff the season before. So the fact that he decided to do this, it should make every single baseball fan sick to their stomach because we saw Ryan Braun. He got busted and lied on national TV saying, "I never took those substances. They have never entered my body willingly." You even had his best friend Aaron Rodgers, the star quarterback of the Packers. He came out and said, "I will bet my entire salary that Ryan Braun is innocent." Well, it came out that Ryan Braun, the biggest clown in baseball, was in fact not innocent. He did get suspended because he did take the steroids, and I'm still expecting a fat check from Aaron Rodgers because, hey, I got bills to pay for, I got rent to pay for. He bet his entire salary. We're all expecting a check in the mail sometime soon because he said it. He said it out there. He didn't have to, but he decided to. I'm obviously being facetious. I don't expect a check in the mail from Aaron Rodgers, but that's how good Ryan Braun felt at lying to our faces. And Robinson Cano, after everyone defended him that he didn't mean to do it, he didn't know what he was taking, but Robinson Cano just squished every opportunity that he had to regain the trust and the admiration of baseball fans across the world. Pretty much, if we're laying on the ground just enjoying ourselves, he came over with his cleats on and just kicked us in the face. Cleats and everything. Kicked us. Everyone that defended him and said that Robinson Cano deserves a second chance because, again, it was stated that he didn't know he was taking a steroid when he was prescribed the steroid. I mean, unless there was a language barrier, I'm not sure why you aren't fully educated on what's going in your body, especially as a professional athlete. Like, these are not Flintstone vitamins. These are highly dosed medicines meant to enhance your healing capabilities, and you might want to check to see if it's prohibited or not by Major League Baseball. All of the other players that think this is okay, it's not. So in my opinion, not only does this affect the market of the free agents and possibly Francisco Lindor heading to the Mets, because now there's a gaping hole in the middle of the infield, whether that's going to be filled by Francisco Lindor at shortstop, and then maybe they put Andres Gimenez at second base and trade away Ahmed Rosario, or maybe they offer DJ LeMahieu the bag. They're going to have some money to spend because Cano has to forfeit all $24 million of his 2021 salary. So in one clean swoop, the Mets now have more money. Robinson Cano completely ruined his chance of ever making the Hall of Fame. And Ryan Braun might not be the biggest idiot in all of baseball, because at least we knew that he was guilty. He's an awful liar. It was dead evident that he was guilty and that eventually it would come to the surface and that he would get busted. In my heart, I wanted to keep saying that Cano was a Hall of Famer, even though he got busted, just like Nelson Cruz got busted a few years ago. Everyone keeps saying that, he has shown that he has the skills he should have never done in the first place. But that's like saying the Astros shouldn't be punished or looked down upon because they have the skill to win a World Series with or without trash cans. I mean, they got to the ALCS one game away from making the World Series without trash cans, without any fans. So obviously they had the skill, and they didn't even have Verlander or Garrett Cole on their squad. So obviously they're a great baseball team, and obviously Cano and Nelson Cruz are great baseball players, but they cheated the game of baseball. They cheated other players out of opportunities to prove their worth to that team, and it even goes to college. Like, I'm worried that my younger brother, who is busting his butt every single day to make a name for himself, what if there's a Michael Chavis out there? So if you did not know, Michael Chavis, when he was younger, before he got drafted, or maybe when he was in the minors, he got busted for steroids. Ryan Braun, it's been proven that he has been taking steroids since he went to college in Miami. So it makes me think, all of these guys have seen A-Rod, Manny Ramirez. All of these guys get busted for steroids, and all it is really a slap on the wrist. It's okay to cheat because you've made 25 to 70, in A-Rod's case, like $500 million. So, hey, if you're suspended a few games, I got my cheddar, I got my bread. It was worth it in the long run. A-Rod did it a couple times. Manny Ramirez a couple times. Robinson Cano has made his money. I don't know if he cares about making the Hall of Fame, and that makes it hard for any up-and-coming prospect to make a difference because you have guys cheating left and right. And I'm hoping that Nelson Cruz is not busted anytime soon for a second time, because he just had a pretty good 40-year-old season. And again, not many 40-year-olds have done that clean in the past history of Major League Baseball. So just so many implications. I'm not worried necessarily about the integrity of baseball going forward. I think this was a very one-off, very idiotic case. Robinson Cano, it just makes sense. Anyone that defends him for that he didn't know, this should put a cap on that argument. He 100% knew what he was doing and tried to lie to our faces. I cannot wait another 24 hours to talk about this. The biggest bonehead, the biggest buffoon, the biggest jerk, a-hole clown. I know I'm a little bit passionate about this, but I have to be, because it might be entertaining. Woohoo! 50 home runs, 75 home runs. Yes, steroids might have saved the game of baseball, but it broke the integrity of baseball at the same time. We have Fernando Tatis Jr. saving us, and I'm pretty sure, I can't say this out loud because I don't know about any of these guys. I could have sworn that Ryan Braun was clean as well before the Mitchell report, but Fernando Tatis is breaking the unwritten rules. We had better ratings than the NBA Finals. Baseball is upticking towards a more popular sport. We are about integrity, having fun, and shattering the mold. Fernando Tatis Jr. will lead us to the promised land. And please, baseball gods, do not take away him from us. Do not let it come out in 5 years that Tatis is a cheater. Please, let's all hope and pray for that, because Cano is one of the many immortals in my head growing up. Like, if you had to say one of the best second basemen ever, Robinson Cano is in that discussion. Almost a 70 career WAR after missing games from injury, suspension. He's going to be suspended again. He's almost at 3,000 base hits. I'm not sure if that's going to happen anymore. But that's today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Francisco Lindor and LeMahieu are going to end up a New York Met. Ahmed Rosario is most likely going to be headed back to the Tribe. That's my professional opinion. That's my prediction. Lindor to the Mets, a couple prospects, and Rosario to the Indians. And then that hole at second base will be Andres Gimenez. And then the Yankees re-sign DJ LeMahieu for an elevated price because he's saying, you know, like, this other team's going to need me. I need more dollaroos from you guys. And I think it's going to happen. But anyways, that's today's video. Robinson Cano can go fall in a hole. I wanted to love the guy. I wanted so much to forgive him in my heart. But the case is closed. I'm done with him. The biggest jerk, along with Ryan Braun, that I can remember in quite some time. Ban him. Honestly, get him. No one wants him anymore, okay? We need to have better systems in place to make sure that first-time offenders cannot do it a second time because they're guaranteed a huge salary. Once they come back, they start juicing one more time, they get a bigger salary, and then in year 2 of that huge contract, they get busted again. But they're like, doesn't matter, I got my money. Get out of my face with that.